What's going on, guys and gals? This is Auto Tech. I am just on the highway right now, heading up to Edmonton, or as I like to call it, Edmonton, Alberta. Don't really have a real reason for going up there. I'm just gonna go visit old filthy French fry and I don't know, just do something for this weekend. You know, it hasn't been very good weather around here for the last like week and a bit. So, you know, getting like big day trips and stuff in, it's kind of like, well, you know, you lose motivation, right? You know, you don't want to put your rain gear on just to go ride to Golden and back for the sake of riding, and it's like, you know, that's not a very good time. So, wasn't supposed to be raining today, and as you can see, it's, you know, kind of drizzling, spitting a bit, but whatever. I mean, the weather's supposed to be pretty good in Edmonton, so hopefully that stays true. Isn't really a whole lot of like a game plan per se for Edmonton. This is definitely like a spur of the moment type trip. I don't know, I was just at work yesterday and I was kind of like, alright, well, you know, whatever, I kind of want to go somewhere, so I texted Filthy and I was like, you working tomorrow? And he's like, no, I'm off all weekend, man. And I was like, cool, I'm gonna phone my luxurious favorite place, the Algonquin Motor Inn, see if they got a room. And he's like, oh man, you want to come up? And I was like, yeah, man, like, still owe you a bottle of that Captain Morgan's private stock for making me that music for that Triumph reveal. And he's like, cool, man, right on. So, you know, here we are. We're on our way to Edmonton. Well, sadly for FNG, he's actually up in the Edmonton area as well. He's in Drayton Valley right now, working, and his bike is at home. So that sucks for him. I reached out to him yesterday because, you know, it was actually his birthday this week. And I was going to be like, man, come along. Like, I'll just get a room with double beds, whatever, you know, split the cost kind of thing, you know, get away for a weekend. And he's like, I can't. I'm working on my birthday. Yeah, that sucks. Oh, here I go. And then I reached out to Angry Ginger, and it turns out he's actually heading to Red Deer for the evening. So, you know, I hope he avoids the syphilis that can come along with that city. I'm just kidding. Red Deer's nice enough. I've spent a lot of time in Red Deer over the years, and it's not somewhere I'd ever live, but that's all right. I think the drive to Edmonton would probably have to be one of the like worst ones you can do. Like, it is just so boring, and like there's just, yeah, like it's just awful. Like, this is about as scenic as it gets. This is about as twisty as it gets. So I mean, you know, if there wasn't a side wind or something like that, you could probably set the cruise control and just about make it there without actually touching the handlebars. Like, provided, you know, you didn't have to hit the brakes or nothing like that. But unfortunately, though, there really isn't like a cool way to get there. I guess, like, if you wanted to go off-road, you could get just about the whole way there, like through this forestry trunk road. But that's not something that, you know, most people are going to pursue. So, you know, like, as far as like highways go, it's all going to be a pretty straight shot. If you take like the 22 off to the west there, I mean, it's like, yeah, you make a couple of turns, but it's like you literally like get into a town, turn left, turn right, and then continue going straight. So it's, you know, there's no easy way around that. At some point, though, I would like to do that Highway 40, like, I don't know if it goes the whole way. I think it goes to like Nordegg or something like that, and then I'd have to cut over to the highway and then go up from there. So yeah, just something I should probably consider doing at some point. The nice thing about this highway, though, is quite a few, you know, like quite often, most of the time, people are in one heck of a rush, so they're typically speeding pretty good. So that does make this a pretty dangerous highway at times. Like, there's always crashes, collisions every long weekend, which this is a long weekend. This section coming up here is actually incredibly dangerous in the wintertime, just because the wind comes so hard from the west that it actually like blows the snow across the highway, and it just and then it's just so like trucks will just be going, and then they just turn sideways, and it's like, uh-oh, you're having a bad day. That's why they actually kind of invested in those barriers. They're all covered in weeds right now, but there's that cable in the center section there to prevent vehicles from like coming across. You know, I guess that's a good added safety feature, so that vehicles from that side can't, you know, get blown over this way and then just come across this way. But yeah, it just seems like every single time that there's like a good snowstorm or a good blizzard or something like that, people are like, Highway 2 shut down near Olds, like being diverted, and it's like just never fails. I am not quite sure what has been going on with the weather this past little week or so. Usually August is not a rainy time for us. Like, it's actually like forest fire season, and there's tons of fires burning everywhere else, but Calgary's actually doing pretty good. Now, Alberta's doing pretty good this year, I'd say, which is good. I mean, considering the last few years, it seems like something burns right to the ground, which isn't good. But, I mean, we actually had a hailstorm the other day that, like, it caused, like, millions of dollars worth of damage because it was, like, golf ball size hail. So it was like breaking windshields of parked cars and like breaking mirrors off, and you know, and then you can imagine what the paint ends up looking like after you have something that's, you know, like that. Siding off of houses getting ripped off and shingles getting broken, and it's like, man, that's nuts. Just had my low fuel light come on. I decided to push this tank a little bit just to see what happens. It's going to be close. I mean, hopefully the range and stuff like that isn't all that accurate. Otherwise, I might be in some trouble. I had about half a tank, maybe slightly less than half a tank, and I was like, yeah, let's see if we can make her all the way to Red Deer. So, you know, I left, got on my way, and we're about 65 kilometers or so, 40 miles-ish out from Red Deer, and I just got the low fuel light, and it says my range is like basically the distance. You know, it says like 65 kilometers. So I don't know. I'm gonna try this one out a little bit, see what happens. The Harley like low range thing, I've just learned over the years, is super inaccurate. I mean, like, I've gone into the point where it said 0 by about like 40 kilometers before, and it was, you know, I still wasn't out of gas. So I kind of want to see. Hopefully we're not standing on the side of the road, but you know, hopefully I make it with this one, and then I can see, like, okay, like, you know, when it gives you low fuel, start looking for a gas station, but you know, you don't have to stop right away. But you know what, though, guys and gals, I have drugged this painful straight stretch on for long enough, so I'm gonna cut this one off here. I just wanted to let you know what I was up to, where I'm going, what I'm doing, what the weather's been like lately. I'm gonna see about making a video in Edmonton with Filthy while we're riding around, or whatever we end up getting up to. And if I run out of gas and I'm on the side of the highway, I will definitely check back in with you guys. Otherwise, if you see the end credits roll up, you can assume I made it. Thanks for taking the time and watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button.